There we go. Now we're in. Yes, we are in. This is it. Ready for the warm-up. Points have been reset. This right here also is the new track added this week. Unfortunately, I was busy with playing Valheim, and I kind of didn't have the chance to show you guys how to really drive this track. We did look at it last week to, you know, see what was coming up. So this is the new track in. Nuno has been cut out, and Hurry is a track where there's a lot of U-turns going on. There's a lot of going left and right and left and right. As you can see, the players will be taking corners quite deep, like right here. It's another U-turn, and another U-turn is coming up right there as well. So you will see these players really drift to their heart's content. Again, give me another U-turn. U-turn hit is. Appreciate it. And it ends in this jump right here. But there's a lot of things you really need to get solid in these drifts. The map itself has been made by Clear Vision as well, who is racing on the map. So I'm expecting him to do great, considering he made it. But here we go. First track of the day, first round of the day. We've got our players right now. We've got Captain Salmon, we've got Grandi, Clear Vision, Mikatro, Tuka, and Woofley ready to show you guys, hopefully, an amazing race once again. Right now, we do have Tuka in the lead, Grandi right behind with Captain Salmon. Everybody pretty close, honestly, at the front right now. Woofley hanging behind a bit, maybe able to get a nice slide in a little bit, but right now, not a lot going on. And in fact, it's, where is he? Where is he? Clear Vision, the creator of the track, falling behind right now. Clearly, these players found something in this track that that he hasn't yet. Though, if you bonk into the wall, this is what happens. And it looks like Mikatro is taking the lead, takes the first round win, 8 points. Tuka with 6, Woofley with 4, and all the other players coming in behind. Whew, man, this food is still in me, so apologies if I lose track. I try. Let's keep an eye out on Clear Vision for this one and see how he does. I think last time he just bonked into one or two too many things. Bit unfortunate. But there are quite a lot of tight corners within this track. You really want to make sure you maximize your speed on the dirt. And Captain Salmon, unfortunately, doesn't get the jump just right and falls right onto the railing, having to let go of his spot in the pack. Currently, though, like these 4 players, all very close to each other. Woofley, Tuka, Mikatro, and Captain Salmon. Though, we just had a bonk. Could I not say name? Sorry, Tuka. I said your name and you bonked. That's all my fault. That's on me. But right up until the end, Mikatro and Clear Vision really fighting there for the number 1 spot. Though it is Mikatro taking it in the end. Clear Vision in second, Woofley in third, Captain Salmon, Tuka, and Grandi unfortunately making some slight mistakes, falling behind and taking home a few points. But Mikatro right now in a clear lead, but we are only in round number 3 of map number 1, so we're not done in any way, shape, or form. And we'll take a look at Grandi, and we already lost someone in the back. We lost Captain Salmon, which is unfortunate. He's lagging behind quite a bit, in fact. Which, you know, I'm not sure if he's going to recover it. The players are looking very, very consistent. And I think if you bonk just once, it's lights out. Don't expect to get first place. You just got to get all these slides just right. And Grandi is doing just that. Though not as much speed as he would have liked, as Clear Vision and Woofley are overtaking him. Tuka trying the same. Might be able to do so, in fact, does so, but we have a bonk from Captain Salmon. No! Not his race today, not his race today, man. That's not the case for Mikatro or Clear Vision, the number 1 and 2, not only in this race, but also in the league right now. They're just rolling through, honestly. It's kind of a beating happening right now. Though Clear Vision had some issues the first round on this map, he seems to be recovering just fine, and just not faster than Mikatro, but no harm, no foul in this case, as both Mikatro and Clear Vision are pretty safe when it comes to the rankings. So we really want to look at players like Captain Salmon in this case. Captain Salmon, currently, I believe, 5th in the leaderboards. Really needs to make something happen. I should probably put the leaderboards right next to me, huh? Ooh, Captain Salmon loses contact with the hill. And not only that, bonks into the side, making the line down into the checkpoint even worse. This is not his map today, unfortunately. Mikatra, however, is just rocking it, hoping to maybe even get a little bit of a world record. Who knows? Who knows? World record high? Imagine. Imagine. I don't know if that'll happen, but Mikatra is driving an amazing race right now and takes a clear #1 spot. Let me just get these rankings up for you guys so I can tell you where everybody is within the regular season. I think that would be pretty fun, right? It's very relevant. Extremely relevant, in fact. This is what it's all about. Already round number 5, I believe. Yes, round number 5. Last time seeing the map today. Personally, I'm a big fan of the map. It's a lot of fun, even though you've got a lot of these U-turns going on. It flows very nicely, very well. Honestly, shout out to Clear Vision for contributing such a great map. Like, all the maps in the pool are great, and I think this is the great cherry on top for you know, the first season of FTL. Grandi falling a bit behind, but giving us a bit of an overview of this pack at the front. Everyone is just packed together. Nobody really letting on. Wolfily trying to just get that first place spot. Mikatra just not letting go. Was that a bonk right there from Clear Vision? I think it was. He fell behind. And Wolfily trying to catch up to Mikatra, but it's just not happening. Mikatra consistently driving sub 53 times. And none of the players really able to touch him. Like this, yeah, no, look at the points. Mikatra taking 40 points out of a maximum of 40 points to be gained on the map. Taking a clear #1 spot. That was a beating. That was a beating. Not gonna lie. Unfortunately, I have no information about what is going on in Division 2 or Division 3 right now, though there are players within these divisions that can have an impact on the final standings. We will take a look at it after this, because if you've been following along, I'm sure you're interested in knowing who are moving on to the playoffs next week. We're just in the warm-up right now. The players getting accustomed to Karting Tourist. I'm just going to call it Karting Tourist. Again, I'm not Finnish, so don't expect me to know how to pronounce these names. I'm not, yeah, no, not for me. Not for me. But this is a track with a lot of long, wide corners and a lot of opportunities to really build up some speed. Though it is important to make sure that, especially in a section like this, make sure you don't touch the grass. A lot of tight corners happening here, where the previous track was all about these U-turns. You've got these little maneuvers you need to do on this track, where either you get a big wide corner, like this actually is a corner even though you're wall riding, but also these narrow little choke points where you just need to slightly maneuver your way to the left and then right to make sure you stay on the track and get the line just right. But here we go, round #1 of map #2. And already the players going at it, and it is, who was that with the bonk? I think that was Wolfily. Wolfily, unfortunately, hits the pillar at the second checkpoint. That is a shame, and I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to all these players right now. Wolfily right now in #5. He can't afford to make these mistakes too often. We have another player follow off, which is Captain Salmon. Captain Salmon falling behind, which is, again, Captain Salmon #7. These are mistakes the players cannot afford. Mikatra with the first big mistake, though. Not really sure what happened there, but he was in first place, and all of a sudden he wasn't anymore. Clear Vision took on Grandi, taking the first, second, and third spot this time, with Mikatra falling behind on Captain Salmon, and Wolfily taking 6th place. I'm not sure what happened there. Unfortunately, we missed what exactly it was, but that is the first race that Mikatra doesn't take first place, which, you know, doesn't say anything, but it's not the perfect race anymore, that's for sure. Though I can't imagine, like, I've never seen a perfect race in Trackmania with players of similar caliber. It's kind of hard for that to happen. But starting off in round number 2, Mikatro not having the same speed as the top tree right in front of him. But let's see if he's able to catch up in these next couple of corners. Clear Vision and Captain Salmon are keeping up very nicely. Woofley unfortunately has to let go of the gas a tiny bit, and Mikatro takes advantage of that and goes past him. And let's see what this corner does. This corner is a great spot to really get some speed, and Captain Salmon doesn't get the same speed that Mikatro get, but Clear Vision still trying to keep him out, trying to get that number 1 spot. Like, both players, honestly, driving a great track, keeping contact with the floor right there, and it's Clear Vision and Mikatro for 1 and 2. And with Captain Salmon in number 3, Tuco in 4, Groundy in 5, and Woofley in number 6. Woofley not having a great race either. Captain Salmon trying to recover a little bit, but you can see right now there's quite a gap occurring between number 5 and 6 and number 2 to 4. We're getting close to halfway, so don't discredit anyone just yet, but it's getting pretty close. Did Mikatro actually hit the checkpoint from the other side? Are you kidding me? Did I see that correctly? Usually you want to zigzag into the checkpoint there, right? A bit of slaloming, if you will. And Mikatro just didn't do that. He touched the checkpoint on the side and then went back in. Like, he didn't even bother going around the pole there. That was insane. I'm not sure how he did that, but that was cool. I haven't been able to do that during practice. But as it is right now, all the players are honestly driving very well. Everybody very close to one another. Captain Salmon trying to get that 3rd spot right here because, you know, Clear Vision and Mikatro just not letting go of one another. And all the players, great rounds. Honestly, like, look at these times. Very, very well driven. But that, yeah, I guess those are strats. Like, I don't know what Mikatro just did. That was insane. That was insane what I just saw. Like, I just had to double check. Like, wait, did he just do that? But, you know, he did. He did. Let's keep an eye out on Clear Vision. Clear Vision being doing great. Look, Mikatro just did it again. He did it again. All the players are going to the left of the pillar. Mikatro says, nah, I don't need to do that. Who needs to do that? All right, it's right there. There's no need to go all the way around. And it nets him a number 1 spot right now. And Woofley, Clear Vision right behind him. Unfortunately, Clear Vision gets a no slide right there. And every other player just going past him. Like, all the players are driving great. And it's just unfortunate for Clear Vision that he had the no slide at that point. Groundy taking the inside line, overtaking Tuca right now. But Tuca having a better jump on the dirt, allowing him to get closer to that number 3 spot with Captain Salmon taking that for right now. But I'm not sure if he's able to catch up. Captain Salmon bonks into the wall. Unfortunately, too much speed. Losing the number 3 spot and having to settle for number 6. And I can tell you, you don't want to settle for number 6. Not at this point. Not at this stage in the game. That was unfortunate right at the end. It's sad to see. You hate to see it, honestly. Let's hope Captain Salmon does better this time. We'll take his point of view for this one. Goes all the way around, slides on in. Mikatro having a bit more speed. Woofley also working with him. Captain Salmon not having the best speed over the hill with all these players overtaking him. But keeps on. No major mistakes. Let's see if he gets the slide here. Good slide. Drives on in. Players in front of him also driving very consistently. Drifts all around. Looking good, looking good. Tuca trying to overtake Captain Salmon right now. Captain Salmon taking a bit of a shorter turn right here. Allows him to take back that number 4 spot. Nice jump, nice jump. Let's see how the slide goes into the final section. And let's hope the same doesn't happen last time. But both Tuca and Groundy just having way more speed coming out of that dirt section. And Captain Salmon taking 6th spot. Despite driving a great track right there. All the players honestly have done so. He unfortunately has to go out again with a number 6. And that was Karting Tourist. We're already halfway. We're just flying through. These players are too fast. These tracks are just flying by, and before you know it, it's all over. But let's take a look at the standings right now. Mikatro taking a clear number 1 spot right now with 70 points. 20 points difference between the number 2 spot held by Clear Vision right now. Again, this is exactly the same as it is currently in the season rankings, which not maybe in terms of points, but it is in terms of positions. Woofley with number 3 on 37, sharing that spot with Tuca. Grandi and Captain Salmon also sharing their number 5 spot with 23 points each. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard one. At the moment, Woofley number 5, also with Tuca, same amount of points, 20 points. Looking, you know, pretty good at the moment. They're looking at 6 and 4 points each. Not sure how we can take care of the tiebreaker if the points do end up being the same. We'll see about that. Grandi and Captain Salmon really in a bad spot though. If they stay in these spots, they will only get 3 and 2 points each. And while Grandi does have 20 points, maybe 23 points should do it for him, unless this is his lowest finish. For Captain Salmon, this is very risky, because with 16 points, he's just 4 points away from the number 9 spot, held by Intellect right now. So we'll see how that goes. But we're back in it. Warm-up is over. Into Humu. There will be a tiebreaker race. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, Humu is the... I believe this track has been in since the start, hasn't it? I believe so. I'm not sure. I've been coming in for week 2 and afterwards, and in week 2, this map was already in. And we've seen quite some fun things happen near the end of the track. Mikatro also doing great on this track. Same performance he showed last week, with Woofley and Captain Salmon right behind him. Clear Vision not having the right speed on this one, though. While not in the best... You know, on the worstest of spots, you know, it hurts when you fall behind. But, you know, you might get a bad track. You just got to make sure your mentality is right. Into the finish, Mikatro slides. Woofley almost sniped it there. Just had a bit better of a bug slide, but Mikatro keeps holding on. And Clear Vision not able to finish. That mistake that he made was just a bit too much. We unfortunately didn't quite see why he slowed down as much as he did. But it wasn't enough for him to get back. And unfortunately has to settle on no points. No points at all. So that does give some opportunities to the other players to catch up on Clear Vision in the rankings. And also messes up that slide there. So even more chance for Tuca, Grandi, Woofley, and Captain Salmon to make a bit of a comeback. Still possible. There's still plenty of time to do it. They just gotta show what they're worth on the track right now. And currently the top 3 spots are just being fought over. Grandi sliding into the wall, unfortunately, there. And Mikatro, Woofley, and Tuca. Let's take a look at the top 3 spots right now. They're just fighting. Look at the time. Like, there's hardly any time between these players, and it's all going to come down to the slide into this finish right here. We already saw who Woofley had the better slide, and he does! Not only Woofley, but Tuca both have a better slide than Mikatro in this case, and Mikatro taking 3rd place. It all came down to that final part. What a finish. That was great. That was great to see. But that doesn't do anything right now. Look at that. There is a clear dominance for Mikatro. I'm expecting him to take it out 1st place. But 2nd place is starting to get more and more tumultuous, honestly. Look at the point difference is minor. Woofley just has 2 more points needed to get over Clear Vision, and Tuca does need about 7, but it's doable. Just the 1st place will do it. That's 8 points in the bag, and you just gotta hope Clear Vision doesn't do too well in that case to hopefully nab that 2nd spot. That's what really is going on right now. That's what people are fighting for. You can't expect Clear Vision to just give up and be like, you know what, take him. You gotta fight for it. And in this case, Clear Vision apparently completely done with, you know, just having these little mistakes here and there, and decides, you know what, I'm just gonna go for number 1. But he bonks into the pillar. No, I just need to stop cursing players. I need to stop cursing players. Into the pillar, unfortunately. That is the risky part about that finish. While there is a finish right in front of you, it is not as fast as getting the bug slide into the secret finish there. But there is a pillar, and if you hit the pillar, people will catch up. Tuca, unfortunately, doesn't get the slide there. He really needs these points, so that's going to cost him immensely. But we still have the number 5 players pretty close to one another. There is 7/10 between the number 1 and number 5 spot. It's getting even bigger, though. Captain Salmon, unfortunately, not getting the bestest of slides over the hill. And we're really looking at the top 4 now. We got Woofley, Clear Vision, Mikatro, and Grandi. Mikatro not as far ahead as you would normally see, but Clear Vision does bonk into the slide. What a shame. And we're just left with Woofly, Mikatro, and Grandi. And let's see how these slides go. We've seen Mikatro not getting the bestest of slides, so perhaps Grandi could snipe this. He does not, and in fact bonks into the wall, and Captain Salmon is able to overtake him just barely. Clear Vision was pretty close to doing so as well, but Grandi recovered and managed to get to number 4 instead. And Woofly, again, we were very close to having this number 2 spot changing, and Woofly has taken it over from Captain Salmon, from Clear Vision. So that's it's exciting to see. Let's see if he can hold on to that number 2 spot, or if Clear Vision starts to fight back and you know, tries to show why he is number 2 on the rankings right now, which is honestly amazing considering how many points he's ahead of the rest. Now, it's a tied race. It is a tied race. Grandi, in this case, unfortunately not part of the pack. No major mistakes just yet, but all the other players just slightly faster, slightly more efficient in their lines, getting the drifts on in. And it looks like we're going to have all the players arriving to the finish relatively nearby one another. Let's look at Captain Salmon to see what goes on in this slide. Mikatro, Tuka, Woofly all taking the slide. Woofly with the first slide, then Mikatro. Captain Salmon overtakes Tuka, and Clear Vision and Grandi round out number 5 and 6. That was a very, very good round. All the players did amazingly well the last round on Humu. And we're going on to the final map. Now, we've already had Rapid, we've got Humu, we've got Kator Turust. So there is one more map remaining. It's Rapid. It's Rapid. We already have Rapid. I said Rapid. I was wrong. Which one did we have? Hurry. We had Hurry. There you go. Rapid, Hurry, you know, all means fast. So I'm like, what do I know? You expect me to know the difference between fast and fast? Come on. Get real. But no, final map. We're already on the final map, and Mikatro has extended his lead because of the whole fighting going on for that number 2 spot. He is 25 points ahead of number 2, but the number 2 spot is now held by Woofly instead of Clear Vision. And Tuka is actually in a decent position to overtake, in this case, simply 5 points in between him and Clear Vision. Captain Salmon following behind with 40 points, and Grandi with 33 points. I'm not sure if Grandi is able to come back on this, and considering his positioning in the rankings, that might not mean the end for him, but it is risky. You know, if he ends up in last, I wouldn't be surprised that this would be the point count that would be cut off. As I mentioned before, the players have been accumulating points over these past 4 weeks, and the lowest point amount, the lowest placing that you've gotten, will be taken out of the ranking, and that way you will have your 3 highest, right? So chances are, if he does end up in 6th place, he would normally get 2 points, but those 2 points will be taken out because that would be his lowest ranking. Simple as that. I'm not sure what his rankings have been in this case, but I probably shouldn't care too much because we're in the race. We're already in the race. I don't have time to look at that. Come on. And this is really the spot where things usually go wrong. We got Mikatro having an amazing transition onto the beam, and he had quite some issues on this track last week, but right now he's doing great. Little bit of a clipsy clip on that edge right there, but still enough space and nailing the number 1 spot, honestly. And everybody pretty close to one another. Just Clear Vision taking number 6 again. It's unfortunate. It's been a very inconsistent race for him today. And he's just giving away points and allowing Tuka to catch up. Here we go, round number 2. All right, let's keep a closer eye on what's going on in the race, and we'll check out what is going on in the playoff, who's going into the playoffs after this. As it is right now, all the players having a great start to the track, jumping over just nicely, get into the slide. We have Mikatro, unfortunately, hitting the side of the corner, just sliding a bit too tight, and falls all the way behind, 4 seconds behind, in fact. Grandi, though, not getting the transition right into the beam section and has to give up his number 5 spot now. We have another player falling off, Clear Vision falling off the side, leaving Tuka and Captain Salmon with number 1 and 2. We just had players falling off all over the place. This was basically Wipeout or Takashi's Castle happening in front of our eyes. What a crazy race that was. And we have the number 1 and 2 spot, not even get that many points this round. And we're seeing the number 3, 4, and 5 players just getting a bit more closer to one another. Grandi, again, unfortunately, is not going to be able to really catch up in this case. But regardless, everybody here is showing an amazing race and great skill, honestly. All right, so far, none of the players making any major mistakes. Everybody gets their loopings just nice. Let's see what happens in the transition here up to the beam section. Players are going up. Everybody seems to be making it over just fine. Mikacho having a bit too big of a jump, maybe allowing Captain Salmon or Clear Vision to overtake. Captain Salmon a very tight drift and a bit late onto the booster, allowing Mikacho to still take that number 1 spot. And we are missing a player. What is going on? Grandi coming in a bit later. Must have made a mistake, which we haven't seen. But overall, pretty good run from all the players. And we're just 2 rounds away. 2 rounds away from seeing who will be winning the race. And not only that, who will be moving on to the playoffs next week. Here we go again. All the players, excuse me, doing very well. No major mistakes so far. Tuka falling a bit behind, unfortunately. In fact, falling behind not only a bit, but a lot. Fortunately, having bonked at some point earlier. See, all the players gets the transition. Clear Vision not the best transition, unfortunately. So Woofily and Mikacho are going to fight it out to see who takes number 1 on the map. Mikacho with the superior drift on the ice is going to take a clear number 1 spot. And Woofily number 2. Clear Vision and 3, even though he had some issues with that transition, did do quite well. Grandi in 4, Captain Salmon in 5, and Tuka in 6. And we're at the final round. Tuka and Clear Vision are tied for number 3 right now. It doesn't matter what happens right now. There is no tiebreaker for these 2 players. This is the tiebreaker. One of them, unless they both don't finish. That's the only reason this could be a tiebreaker. Fortunately, Captain Salmon already falling off, so we're going to take a closer look at what's going on at the front. Mikacho, Woofily, and Tuka all within car's length of one another. Takes the looping very nicely, goes into the slide, and let's see how the transition is up onto the beam section. Looking very good from the players. Woofily having a better transition than Mikacho, allowing to overtake him. Tuka right behind along with Mikacho. Let's see how these slides go. Woofily hitting the booster earlier, and Mikacho trying to catch up, but just doesn't make it. And it's final ranking 1 Woofily, 2 Mikacho, 3 Tuka, and the number of the other players are like way behind in this case. They just left them all in the dust, and that means Tuka takes number 3 in this case. Mikacho winning the race, as we've pretty much seen from the start. Out of the 160 points to be gained in total, he got 133. That is insane. That is insane.